Welcome back to the Black and Gold Report. We're now joined by head men's soccer coach Phil Heinsohn. Coach, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
You're a little bit more than halfway through your season, and you sit at 7-2 overall and 2-2 in the Peach Belt Conference. Can you give us your overall assessment of the team so far this season?
I think it's been a good season so far. We're into the kind of the meat of the schedule, the difficult part with all the conference games, and the conference is very, very difficult right now. So we're pleased. We felt we kind of let an opportunity go against Flagler at the weekend. They were ranked 7th in the country, and we were up 1-0 at half-time. But so far it's going well. But it's so tight right now that our goal to reach the NCAA tournament is still very realistic.
We've had 3 matches in the last 10 days or so. Let's talk about Clayton State's win first. You had a gutsy 1-0 grind out against 2 pretty evenly matched teams. Can you talk about that win?
It's always good to get a result against Clayton. They're a team that everybody fears because they've had a lot of success in the conference, excuse me, and nationally. 2 years ago they were in a national quarterfinal, so it was a very good win. It could have probably gone either way. We had probably more clear chances than they did, but ultimately we ended up getting the result. So it was very important moving forward and for confidence as well.
Well, the next game you played was a 6-0 non-conference win over Barton.
Right.
The team played pretty well in all facets of the game. What does a game like that mean in the middle of a Peach Belt Conference schedule?
The key thing we've been stressing the whole week was let's not overlook the game, because when that happens, especially in soccer, you can end up losing, and those games can really hurt you if you don't take care of them. And they've got some good players, but we played very well. The guys did a professional job of taking care of it and not looking beyond the game.
Well, most recently, you had already mentioned the team dropped a tough game against Flagler, nationally ranked team.
Yeah.
You unfortunately lost 2-1, but you did have the early 1-0 lead. Can you discuss that game a little bit more in depth? And how good is Flagler? If they win the entire conference, is that something that they're able to obtain, and is it possible that the coaches were right in the preseason rankings?
Yeah, I mean, we ended up getting 2 red cards, 2 players ejected in the game, so we ended up playing down 2 players. They also got a penalty kick. Some of that stuff really was out of our control, but you expect that at times, unfortunately, going on the road. But they're very good. They were a national quarterfinal team, 1 PK away from going to the Final Four last year, so they're very good. But I think on a day we're capable of beating them, and probably 4, 5, 6 teams in the Peach Belt can beat them, but they're very consistent.
Well, you talked about the 2 ejections there, so this pretty much leads into my next question. Are there any players on the squad so far this season that you've been particularly impressed with? I know having to fill a role in the upcoming game that you have, but who might have been more off the radar at the start of the season that you can easily slide into a position?
Ryan McIntyre is going to come in against Lander on Wednesday because we have the 2 guys ejected. He'll come in, and I have full confidence. He's very athletic, very strong, very physically. He's got a lot of attributes from that standpoint. So hopefully he'll make a big contribution. But really, it's a lot of the same group and the guys that we expected and hoped coming in that have done the job. And so I would say James Casserley and Sid, but they're both suspended now because they're the ones that got the red cards.
Right. Anyone else in the midfield or up at the top of the field for you?
Other than the guys really that have done the job already, Sam, Martin, Sean, it's a lot of the same guys from last year, and James coming in this year that we expected. He's done a very good job, so it's a lot of the same players.
Right. Well, you've given up 6 goals so far this season, and 5 of those came in the 2 conference losses. Can you talk about your team's back 4? And I know we mentioned the ones that have gotten red cards, but that as well as your goalkeeping, and just talk a little bit more about your team's defense and your overall feeling on that.
I think it's a really collective approach. We had worked on it all through the spring with the team, and that's if you can minimise the number of goals you're giving away, obviously you give yourself a better chance. So that's just something we've worked on. We're very comfortable in the system of play that we have. So we're doing well. And the goals this weekend, one was a PK, one was a set piece. So we defended well, and the Montevallo game was really a 1-0 game that we lost, but sometimes you gamble and throw numbers forward to try and get a goal back at the end, and they caught us. So really 2 of those goals you can kind of throw out the window because we were losing. So whether you lose 1-0 or 5-0 in a game, you've got to try and get back in the game.
Well, I know I was watching live stats towards the end of the football game because you guys were on the road and football was home, and man, it was so exciting to see you guys go up 1-0. going into halftime. But we're going to take our next break, and when we return, we're going to continue talking soccer with head men's soccer coach Phil Heinsohn. So stay tuned.